What's up, everybody? We're going to talk Jets, we're going to talk Patriots, and how we're going to get this dub tomorrow. Can't wait. So, we're going to get started here. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It is early for me. I am not a morning person at all, but I wanted to get this video in with you guys before I started out the rest of my Saturday. So, once again, welcome to episode 22 of Tsunami Speaks with your girl, Tsunami Jones. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, retweet it when I tweet out the link. And that's how we'll continue to grow this channel going forward and keep making headway towards that 500 subscribers goal that I have currently and, of course, beyond. Guys, it's week 8. It's week 8. It's Patriots week. It's revenge week, hopefully. We got the Stealth Black Jets gear this week. We already announced the helmet like back in the summer, but now we're going to finally get to use it against these cheating damn team. This cheating damn team, the Patriots. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I'm so glad we're going against them. We've had a few different interviews this week and even some good tweet outs from like you guys like Will Parks and a few of the cats. And they were just saying that they're fired up and they didn't forget what the Patriots did to us last year in both games, but more so the second game when they just ran the hell up out of the damn score. They put a 50 burger on our defense. They injured our damn quarterback on a dirty play. I'm looking at you, Matt Judon. I didn't forget. The hell was that? Anyway, it's been a little over a year to the day that we had that travesty of a damn game. So now it's time for revenge. We got to beat them this week. We lost to them 12 straight times, which is just putrid, disrespectful. They still have Bill Belichick. It's not going to be the easiest game, even though they're a much better team. I'm sorry, not much better team. We're the better team going into this matchup, but we do have to pay some respect, I'll say, to their coaching staff. I will say to the actual franchise, because screw them. So let's get started by going to the injury reports and seeing what we have going on with them. In this case, both franchises are a little banged up, but I'm going to do a quick run through of the IR for both teams just because it's really easy to forget. So for the Jets right now on IR, we still have George Fant. I think he's technically back with the team right now, but he hasn't been lifted off the IR because he's not ready. Max Mitchell's still on the IR. He went on October 8th. I wanted to get those dates in there. So George Fant was September 27th. Oh, Max Mitchell, October 8th. Forgive me, guys. It's early. And so he should be, I think that's literally the week after, or maybe 2 weeks after George Fant, somewhere in there. So we got a couple more weeks, I think, before we get Max Mitchell back. And then we had 2 new Jets join the IR this past weekend. That's Brees Hall and Elijah Vera Tucker. Good luck to those kids. I hope they recover quickly and healthily, and they both come back stronger and even better next year. Moving on to the one player that's already been ruled out of this game for the Jets is Corey Davis. We have Jermaine Johnson and Dwayne Brown, who are listed as questionable. Solid made it sound like both should go. I think Dwayne Brown's just going to be on the questionable part of the injured list or injury report, excuse me, each week because he's still dealing with that shoulder, I believe. That said, Jermaine Johnson should definitely be back. Well, not definitely, but sounded like they were very optimistic that he'll play on Sunday. Moving on to the Patriots here. Ty Montgomery is on the IR for them. I thought they were more banged up than that IR wise, but I guess they've had a few players come back. But two important players are out for them. They've already been ruled out, and that's David Andrews, their starting center, and then Christian Barmore, one of their interior defensive linemen. He's out as well. And the questionable list is very decorated because the Patriots like to do this all the time. So we got Nelson Aguilar, who's listed as questionable with a hamstring injury. Kyle Duggar has an ankle injury. Anthony Jennings has a calf injury. Jonathan Jones, one of their starting corners, he has an ankle injury. Adrian Phillips has a shoulder. Safety, by the way. And then linebacker Josh Uche has a hamstring. And lastly, Isaiah Wynn, one of their other offensive linemen, has a shoulder injury. So pretty interesting kind of coming into the week with all of these injuries and being questionable here. But again, this is kind of the pace of play that the Patriots like to do. So I don't necessarily believe all these players are going to be out. They just appear to be banged up. So even with that being said, I would still say we're considered the most banged up team because of all the offensive linemen that we have on the damn IR. I mean, by default, right? And then, of course, our best playmaker, Brees Hall. We have him missing now. But it's the NFL. We got to have that next man up mentality because that's how the players are. So we as fans have to be that way as well, even though we miss our guys. So therefore, we got to move on. But I'm excited that we'll be getting Jermaine Johnson back after him being out for that 2 to 3 week stretch, even though the defense has played very well in his absence. And so credit to them for balling out regardless. But he was starting to come on right before he got hurt. So I'm excited we're getting him back, and hopefully he'll be 100% and make another positive impact in the limited snaps that he'll be getting. I'm excited to see how much pressure he's able to get on the quarterback because this is going to be the name of the game this week. We need to see Mac Jones, Bailey. Yeah, I can't even think of the kid's name right now, but that their backup quarterback that they think might be better than Mac Jones is Sharpie. That is not his name, but that's what I'm gonna call him now. Bailey Sharpie. Anyway, that cat right there. I want to see him on his butt. Okay, that's what we need to see. So having our defensive line rotation healthy and ready to go is only going to help. On the Patriots side of things, them not having their starting center is definitely going to hurt them. The center is one of the most important positions in the offensive line because they help with those protection calls and things like that, especially when you have a young quarterback. They tend to lean on their starting center or just their other offensive linemen. So I think that's going to be a big key. And then if Isaiah Wynn was already listed earlier as having as being banged up as well, if he's out, that's two of their best offensive linemen being out for this game against our defensive line. That's going to be a problem for them. And then Christian Barmore, obviously, being out is going to help the Jets some too, just by default of the aspect of he's an interior defensive lineman. He's going to help them with that run defense. They don't have him to help stop the run. Guys like your James Robinsons, guys like your Michael Carters, those cats. Hell, even Ty Johnson, because he's probably gonna get some snaps considering he's since we don't have Brees. So those guys are gonna have more running lanes to run through or rushing lanes to run through. So I'm excited to see where that takes us. So now we're going to go to the keys to the win or keys to the W, might I say. And bear with me, guys. I promise I'll wake up more as we keep going. I should have went with coffee instead of an energy drink. I'm going to get there. All right. So first key that I have is going to be one that I use all the time, and that's going to be to limit turnovers. Specifically because we're not going to be able to beat the Patriots. I don't care if they're a weaker team than us. They're a team that doesn't hurt themselves. So when a team doesn't inflict their own issues, their own pain, if you will, then we're going to have to play close to perfect football as well. I need Zach to be as clean as possible in a game like this. No stupid turnovers. Not that he's been doing that. He's actually been one of the quarterbacks in the NFL in the last since he's came back from injury that has been relatively clean. The only game he actually had a turnover in was the Steelers game. If you think about it, that was probably due to rust. And if I know I saw on one of the breakdowns, I do not remember the show, so forgive me as far as the credit aspect goes, but I saw that he it looked like the reason why he threw that interception, the one that was going to Jeff Smith, because Elijah Moore quit on the route. So if that's the case, that's only one interception, and that one, the other interception was the one where Conklin, batted the ball up, and of course, Minka Fitzpatrick caught that. Anyway, moving on, we just need to limit those turnovers. If we stay clean, that's going to really help. The next key is going to kind of go hand in hand. So I'm going to just jump to this one here, and that's manage penalties. I know I've been talking about that the last couple of weeks, but there's definitely a reason for that. Before I continue, let me put this comment up. What's up, Jonathan Green? Hope I pronounced your name right. Correct me if I didn't. But let's go. JETS, Jess. Let's go. All day, every day. I'll ask you, Jonathan, here, out of curiosity, are you excited about the Jets doing the stealth black this week? I'm excited. I like the fact that we're going to be doing a uniform that we haven't worn all season. Of course, we've been doing the white on green or the white on black all season long since we had the winning streaks. I know some Jets fans, including myself, are a little superstitious. Does it make you nervous? Does it not? Just curious, but leave a comment below. Let's see. And then for the managing the penalties key that I have here, we're currently averaging 75 yards per game in penalties. I know it was like 72. It's like each week it's going up and up and up, and that's got to stop. The Patriots are only averaging 47 yards per game in penalties. Some might say that's because the refs favor them. Maybe, but we got to be better. Again, we cannot inflict self-harm against a team like the Patriots. We just can't. Because even if they may be the worst team, they're probably going to be the better coach team. No shade at our coaches. I'm just saying they have Bill Belichick and we don't. So got to be better there. I don't want to give up a whole football, like a whole length of the football field up in penalties. We did that in hell. What game was it that was insane? I think it was the Dolphins game. Can't have that anymore. Can't. We're a better team. We should be in a better standing going forward with that. We do not need to beat ourselves. All right. Moving on to the next one here. We need to. Yeah, cool. Hype as hell. Cannot wait. Cannot wait to see that jersey on them, guys. I like the helmet too. The helmet is dope as hell. Let's see. All right. So the next key I have here is to continue to stop the run. This team is led by our. Sorry, I'm saying this wrong. The Patriots are run and led by their rushing attack by Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris. Those cats are what makes that engine go. They are the engine. It's not Bailey Sharpie, which is what I'm just going to call him now. So I don't remember the other kid's last name, and I don't want to remember. It's not Bailey Sharpie. It's not Mac Jones. It's none of that. It's those running backs. They're fantastic. And I know that Damian Harris was hurt for a little bit. It looks like he's back now. And they were averaging 122.6 yards per game just in the rushing aspect. We've been holding teams to 105 yards per game rushing. So if we can hold them under 100 rushing yards, I think that's going to be huge for us. Absolutely huge. We need to do that. You stop them. I'm not afraid about what Mac Jones and Bailey Sharpie can do to us. And the reason I'm saying both of them, even though Mac Jones was ruled the starter, you saw what Belichick did on Monday. He had Mac Jones start, and then after he messed up, I think he threw an interception. He took his behind out and put Bailey in, and Bailey played better than him. So that means Bill is not afraid at all to make a change in the middle of the game. Agreed. Actually, I do have that as a key on here. Dead serious. Force the most turnovers, win the turnover battle. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I will just skip to that one next real fast. So yeah, my next key was listed as create turnovers. Last week the Patriots had 4 turnovers. 4. The Patriots. What? Blew my damn mind, okay? That is not what I'm expecting to see. That's just foreign to me for them to do. They don't do that. They don't turn over the ball. So, let's keep this train rolling. Let's have them continue to turn over the ball. There were some fumbles and there were some interceptions. And so we're gonna have to make that happen. I know that Bill, I think it was Ramondre last year, either Ramondre or Damian Harris last year that had a fumble. I think it's Ramondre because he was a rookie, and he had a fumble, and then Bill Belichick like did not play him for a few games as punishment. Did not play the rest of that game, and then he didn't play for a couple games after that. That's how Bill is. I want him. I want this team, this Jets team, to force them to do that crap again. Make them lean on just one running back. They don't have a James White right now in order to help them because he used to save the day. He's retired. He ain't on that team anymore. Who do they have? Who do they have? So we need to create those turnovers. Um, and oh, by the way, the Patriots are at 15 turnovers for the season right now. 15. The Patriots. Yo, it's wild to me. That's got to be that's like my favorite stat. And that puts them, that 15 turnovers puts them at second in the NFL for most turnovers. 15. All right, we need to keep this streak going. And then with our secondary being who they are. And now I'm saying secondary, not just corners. You see that? Because I'm going to give our safeties credit. I got to give our safeties more credit because they've been playing well. Between Joyner and Whitehead, Whitehead's my favorite personally because I just like the way he hits. He kills folks on when he's doing when he's trying to stop the run. Excuse me, I could not think. Run support is the phrase I was looking for. He hits just as hard as like your Quans of the world, Will Parks. So that's the kind of safety I like having on the team. And we have that kind of guy there. And Joyner seems to be a ball hawk. They like to pick on him. He's like, okay, you keep picking on me, I'm gonna pick this ball off. Let's go. So, and then I don't have to speak about the corners. Y'all already know. That's our advantage going into this. So we need to create those turnovers. Lastly, here, not lastly, but my next one I'm going to go is we need to run the damn ball ourselves. Patriots are 25th in the NFL, giving up 136.7 rushing yards per game. If you didn't see what the Bears did to the Patriots, they gave up 243 rushing yards on 45 carries. The Bears averaged 5.4 yards per carry. That is wild as hell that happened. Okay. The Patriots are the kind of team that was expecting them to run. You know they were because everyone knows that's the Bears' strength because Justin Fields is a running quarterback. And he's very elusive. With that being and strong as well. It's not that he's just quick. He's actually very physical, very strong runner. So the Patriots knew, they do their homework. Some sort of homework or cheat work or whatever you want to call it. And so they knew what they were going to do, and it didn't matter. That's when you impose your will on the other team. And that's what the Bears did last week. I want us to do the same thing. I'm not saying we need to, I don't expect us, I'll phrase it like this, to get 240 rushing yards, but I'll take a $160. Okay, let's get a $160. So that's going to be a big key here. I'm telling you, if we had Brees going into next week, I'll be calling for 250. Not even gonna lie to you, but that's not what's gonna happen here. We're gonna split the carries between the 3 backs that we have. We got Michael Carter, we got James Robinson, and like I mentioned, Ty Johnson's gonna be our 3rd back. He is pretty good at pass protection, so at least we'll have him there to help Zach out since Michael Carter, I think because he's a little bit undersized, he's not the best blocker. No shade at him. It just is what it is. So I think they'll all get some good carries. My key is if Ty Johnson's going to get the ball, I don't want us to really pass to him. His hands scare me just based off last year. Better this year, but last year is still in my mind. Can't forget it. My next key is when we get in the damn red zone, we need to score, and we need to score touchdowns. It's mandatory. Last week, that was one of my keys because I was worried about it because the Broncos defense is one of the best defenses in the NFL. Do a good job of holding people to kicks. They held us to a few kicks in that damn game. We need to continue this. Let me stop for a second. What you got here, Jonathan? Let's see. Yes, sir. The quote from Coach Sala: "Keep the main thing the main thing," and that winning championship mentality he is building. Keep watching. I agree, man. Receipts. And what I do love is I know this team, this going into this game, all the players were ready for it. They've been talking about it all week during interviews. You could tell they were mad about what happened last year. And I'm just glad the Jets didn't overlook the Broncos game coming into this week. I'm expecting big things for them, even if it doesn't manifest itself on the scoreboard, you dig? We'll see how it ends up going. So pumped. But yeah, I mean, you could just tell the culture shift. You could see the culture shift by watching these interviews with these players and the stuff that they're posting on social media, excluding Elijah Moore. Everybody else. But just to wrap up this red zone thing, but we need to score touchdowns. The Patriots are a very good defensive team, even though they wouldn't have let you know that last week. Prior to that, they were pretty good at holding teams in the red zone. So we're going to need to, and we're just going to need to play with a lead. We can play with a lead. We can have our defense pin their ears back, so to speak, and sack the hell out of the quarterback, whomever that may be. You know, we're going to need that. The Jets are ninth in the NFL with 60% red zone conversion. I think we were 63% last week. We've came down a little bit just because of the way that the Denver Broncos defended us. And Zach didn't have the best game last week either. I will call a spade here. That's my guy, though. I'm wearing his jersey today. Y'all probably can't see it. But I believe in the kid. But regardless, we're going to have to score in the red zone. I don't want us to slip any further than 60%. Whether that's running the ball in the red zone or passing it in, I don't give a damn. Just score. All right. Zooming through the last three that I have here. The defense needs to get to the quarterback. It's going to be a big key, huge key, probably the biggest key that I have for us this particular week. The Patriots have only given up 12 sacks. I believe last week I was saying the Broncos gave up 20. So you get to see the difference from one offensive line to the other offensive line. And their offensive line only gave up one sack to the Bears. And I thought, the Bears had pretty good defense as well. At least they had Robert Quinn on the team prior. They have Roquan Smith. They have guys who can get to the quarterback. And they had a solid pass rush. So I think this might be a bit of a challenge. But like I mentioned earlier, with the offensive lineman woes that they have over there right now, I would expect us to have a less difficult time getting to the quarterback than we may have had if this were week one. So I need Quinnen Williams to step the hell up, which he has been. I'm not saying it as if he's not been getting it done. My guy's been getting it done week to week, okay? That's why I chose him to be on the thumbnail of this video. I normally go with the player that I think is going to play the best or have the biggest breakout game. I try to go that route. Quinn has been playing great all season. I think Quinnen makes an impact play in this game. Let's see. And they just don't have anybody for him in general. They're going to have to double team him. They might have to triple team him to stop Quinnen. And the other thing is Quinnen, even when he's not necessarily getting a sack, he's creating those lanes. He's batting the ball up, like in the Packers game when he helped block that kick. I don't know. That's my guy, though. So we'll see. And one more stat for you guys here. Mac Jones is 32nd in the NFL against pass rush. If you are able to get to him, he's coming down. He's not going to do anything against pressure. So we need to put him on his behind and continuously all game long. Wrapping this up here, we're going to need another great special teams performance. Because when we have a great special teams performance, we win. We have one of the top 5 special teams units in the NFL. From Justin Hardy to Will Parks to Brandon Eccles to Braden Mann to Michael Clemens and, of course, Braxton Berrios. All of those guys make a impact play, even if it isn't necessarily a return for a touchdown or anything. They do great on special teams. they do it in their particular roles. Braden Mann has been fantastic as a punter this year. After that first game, after week 1 where he was terrible, he completely reversed it. I'm excited to see what he does. Michael Clemens is getting more used to special teams. He might make a play this week. I just need one of those guys to make a big play on special teams. Um, the Patriots are a very well coached team, on special teams, so it won't be as easy. So we'll see what happens there. Last key is probably going to be an obvious key. The offensive line needs to hold up for Zach. And I'm not gonna lie here, I'm very nervous. Not a little nervous. I'm very nervous. We had 5 sacks. 5. Wow. Sorry. We gave up 3 sacks last week. And honestly, we could have given up at least 2 more, which is why I said 5 for a second there. Zach may be holding onto the ball a little long. And if anyone were to say that to me, I would agree with you. But I think he's doing it just because he's trying to make a play happen. That's not what we need him to do. But he's also got pressure, not just a little bit of pressure in his face every play. He's got 2 and 3 free rushers at him. I mean, that Broncos game was bewildering, to be honest. Um, so I'm a little worried on that. I need Laken Tomlinson to stand the hell up. He's one of the only guys who, knock on wood here, has been on the field, I'll say, each week in the offensive line. I'm gonna need him to step up. Dwayne Brown, I know you're nursing some injuries, bro. I need you to step up. I need you to not have 4 penalties. You didn't have 4, but I think you had 2 or 3 false starts and all that. We can't have that in this game. Can't have that. We're gonna need help from our offensive line to protect Zach and even to make it easy for providing those rushing lanes as well for our running backs. This is going to be a game where we run the hell out of the ball. Exactly, Jonathan Green. No offensive penalties. Stop shooting ourselves in the foot, making it harder to operate. There were a few drives that we could have had become scoring drives, and right before third down, on second down, there goes a false start. There goes a holding. Can't happen. It cannot happen. We cannot have that happen against the Patriots. We won't win if that happens. Period. We need better from them. And I believe that we will be. I'm not saying that to be negative. Trust me, I'm probably the most optimistic Jets fan that walks on this planet. Pretty sure it's me. So I believe that we'll get some of that cleaned up, even if we could just get our penalties cut in half. That's a dub. Okay, let's go. All right, moving on to the players to watch. And for the Jets, I am going to still start with Zach Wilson. Kind of have to here. This is another game where Zach is going to have to make great decisions, protect the football, and get those bunnies when they're there, or or layups, whatever you want to call it. We're going to need those. The Patriots defense is well coached. So when you're in a situation like that, when you get those free plays, you have to hit. It can't be a near miss. It can't be like that CJ Uzama pass that he threw. And again, I am not yelling at Zach or anything like that. I think he's played fairly well. I think the only game he wasn't good was last week. And again, that's one of the best defenses in the NFL. But anyway, we can't miss like that layup that he had to CJ Uzama. CJ might have still been okay. I won't say he would have still been running, but he would have gotten the first down, and B, probably another 10 yards after that. That was so huge for him to miss. I don't think that happens again this week. We got Elijah Moore back. I didn't mention him. I should have said that earlier. That is one of the players that we did have come off of the injury report, right? For feelings, and I think we're going to try and make some plays with him. I expect Zach to throw maybe a little bit more than we did last week. I believe it was 16 to 26 that he was as far as his passing attempts go. I'm going to say Zach throws closer to 30 attempts. Nothing crazy, maybe like 28, 29, or right at 30, something like that. And maybe 200 yards passing. Nothing exceptional, but I think we're going to be able to, I expect that from him. I want that from him as well. And then maybe a touchdown. I still wouldn't be surprised if he gets a rushing touchdown. I'm going to keep betting that every week too, because the odds are so high. I think it's like plus 800 on FanDuel if he gets a rushing touchdown. And we can sneak with him. We can sneak with him if we get in the red zone. We just need to get there. So I'm expecting, and I have high hopes for Zach this week. I think we're going to utilize him a little bit more, especially with us having Corey Davis out for this game. So we're going to need to lean a little bit more on your Elijah Moores, Garrett Wilson, um, and the next guy that I have on this team who I think will have a good game, a game that might shock everybody, is Braxton Berrios. I know I've said a couple of weeks here, I'm expecting him to return one. I still am, but I'm not even necessarily thinking that's the reason. The Bears utilized a few end arounds and reverses with their guys. Braxton Berrios is very adept at making people miss on those kind of plays. Why not have the Jets do that? Also, Braxton Berrios is a former Patriot. I could see it. I could just see him having a really big game here. They're weak to what he does best. And then there's the revenge game aspect for him. He was there last year to see the foolishness that the Patriots did last year, and every year anyway. Screw them. So my prediction for him, I think Berrios gets a touchdown, whether it's special teams or on a reverse or whatever, and then maybe 60 to 70 yards between receiving and running. If you add like scrimmage yards, okay, that's what I'm seeing for my guy. We'll see if I'm right. He's a player that I think is going to need to step up, and he should. Corey Davis is not out, so this is the next man up. Denzel Mims will get opportunities as well, especially as a very good blocker. But I think Berrios might have the more impactful game. Let's see here. In next, I have listed two defensive players. I'm going to try and go through these a little bit faster here. So I got my boy Sauce Gardner. I have to list him. My man is fresh off another Rookie of the Week belt. Okay. He's got 2. He might go for 3 next week because I think he's going to ball out again. Okay. He has been so good. A rookie. I cannot imagine a rookie making impact plays like this. And they obviously the Denver Broncos weren't afraid to throw to him till the very end of the game. And then at the end of the game, right? Because they challenged him at the very end. I think the Patriots might be a little bit more judicious. I'm sure Bill Belichick is going to try and, coach, his quarterbacks out of him like, hey, don't throw over there too much. Only if you think you have a good play. Whatever. I can't do a Bill Belichick imitation right now, but I think he's going to play well with the limited snaps. They kind of hinted to, I think they interviewed Saleh, and Saleh was saying he wanted to make sure the fans were there for opening snap because they missed Sauce's cornerback blitz, in which, resulted in taking out Teddy Bridgewater and the intentional grounding that caused the safety. So they're almost hinting like something big might happen in the first play of the game. Probably not going to be anything like that, but I could just see Sauce making some sort of huge impact play in the game. It's like he's always around the football, and he's always doing something. Even if he doesn't cause an interception, maybe he can bat the ball up, and a player like Michael Carter, right? This happened before. He got an interception. Maybe Jordan Whitehead gets the benefit of something like that. But anyway, I do have to get this stat out because it's my favorite right now, and as far as the NFL and as far as our team goes. Sauce is leading the NFL with 12 pass breakups this season. Insane. It's just so insane. I think he led the team in tackles last week as well, solo tackles. Hopefully he helps us create a turnover. We need it. I hope Mac throws up a prayer. I know that my boy Sauce will come get it. Lastly, I talked about him, so I won't go as hard as I did earlier, but Quinnen Williams, I think he's going to make a big play. He might make several plays because who can block him on the Patriots offensive line? Tell me who it is. Who is it? That kid has been unblockable against fantastic offensive lines. What he did to the Packers still is like mind blowing to me because of who they have, because of the David Bakhtiaris, the Elgington Jenkins of the world. Those are all pro offensive linemen, and he killed them, murdered them. Will he do it against the Patriots? I think so. Again, these guys are fired the hell up for what happened, and they have no one to block him. Did you know that he's averaging a 90.1 grade overall for defense in PFF. I know some people don't like PFF, but I think it's worth noting this. He's got 5 sacks, he's got 8 quarterback hits, he's got 15 hurries. I need this man to continue on this streak and destroy Mac Jones slash Bailey Sharpie. All right. We need him to do it. Seek and destroy, big man. Go kill him because he's been awesome. And I also like that when he's hitting the quarterback, he's being so careful to make sure he didn't put all his weight on him and all that stuff. So make sure he's not getting these roughing the passer calls and stuff like that. He's very cognizant of what's going on as far as the team goes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Quinnen Williams, CJ Mosley, Sauce Gardner. Those are your 3 defensive players to watch. 3 offensive players to watch. You got Elijah Moore, you got Michael Carter, and of course, Zach Wilson. Yes, sir. I agree. Elijah Moore, I think, might do something big, but I still put Braxton Berrios just more because of I think he just falls into the game plan a little bit better this particular week. Hell, when you talk about Quinnen Williams, you may as well mention Quincy. Quincy has been balling out too. I'm excited to see what he does as a linebacker. He hits like a Mack truck. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I forgot about that. Not only did he get the Rookie of the Week, he also got the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. He was awesome last week. He was awesome. Denver probably was his coming out game for the season. And it's funny because a lot of fans think interceptions are everything, right? So your average fan might look at that and be like, he didn't have any picks. That boy was everywhere, okay? He was in Cortland Sutton's back pocket the entire game. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. On the Patriots side of things, I will be shorter winded here because no one likes them. Screw them. But the players that we can't let be a menace or a game breaker or a game wrecker or whatever the hell, we don't want them to play well. We can't let them make impacts. Ramondre Stevenson. This year, he's been playing really well. He leads the Patriots in rushing at 487 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. He's by far their best offensive player. He has been killing it. And I do remember in the game last year, Ramondre Stevenson, I think it was him. If it wasn't him, it was Damian Harris. But there was a play in which I think our secondary tried to get to him, tried to tackle him, and he took 2 of them with him, just dragged him. It was disgraceful. So I want us to make sure he doesn't have any plays that end up on ESPN's highlight reel package. I want it to be all Jets highlights, damn it. That's what I want to see. So Ramondre Stevenson, he's very good. Take him out of the game. Hunter Henry is going to be my other guy that I think is going to do well. And I hope we don't let do well. I hope we defend him well. And it's because he's their best tight end on the team. Yes, they have Jonnu Smith, but Jonnu Smith hasn't really been otherworldly. And if you look at how they played last year, Jonnu Smith was terrible. Hunter Henry was their red zone threat last year. This year, he hasn't been as impactful. He's got only 168 yards total. But as you guys know, we don't defend tight ends well. We just don't. Jordan Whitehead is not a cover tight end. He's more of just, a thumper and a run support safety. Hence him being a strong safety and not a free safety. So that means he's going to get matched up against Joyner from time to time. I need Joyner to make Hunter Henry pay whatever he's got to do. I don't want him getting off on us. We need to do better against them. So, if I had to speculate here, I would say something along the lines of I would not be surprised if he gets 60 yards and maybe a possible touchdown. I don't want it to happen. I want us to defend that guy. I don't want any impacts by Hunter Henry. Lastly, because again, I don't want to name a bunch of Patriots players because screw them. But Matthew Judon is someone I'll be watching for because he's that damn good. He's the one who put Zach out of commission last year. If y'all remember the hit that he put that hurt his PCL injury or the PCL injury that he had, it's because of Matt Judon, the way he hit him. So I hope we chip the hell out of him on every play. I hope CJ Uzama puts him on his behind on those chips and blocks. If we're going to get a penalty for knocking his behind out, okay? Hurt him. Not literally hurt him. I'm just saying, make him feel you. But he's leading, not leading the NFL, but he's leading the team with sacks. He has 8.5 sacks and 2 passes defended and a bunch of tackles. Judon's really good. We have to keep him contained. We need to have a good blocking plan scheduled for him because I don't want Judon doing anything against us. I would love to see a sack-free game from the Patriots. No sacks for y'all. All right. So lastly here, well, not lastly, but almost lastly, my prediction from the game. And I don't have a slide for that because I forgot to add that one. So forgive me, guys. All right. So personally, I am expecting a slightly higher score than when we played the Broncos. Last week, I predicted 17-10 and it ended up being 16-9. So that was pretty damn close. I'm thinking we're going to do a little bit better than that. I have us at 24-14. And of course, the 24 being the Jets. I think we're going to win this game. We are the better team. We are the more fired up team right now. And that does make a difference. These guys have their hair on fire. Our defense is killing players. I expect us to go out there and kick their behinds. All right. I expect them to be put on their behinds. I expect Bailey Sharpie to come in for mop-up duty and also get hit hard. That's what I expect. I expect our special teams to ball out, and I expect our offense to make timely plays. That said, again, the score is 24-14. And we're in cruise control in the fourth quarter. That's what I expect. That's what I predict. Hope happens. For you guys that are in the chat, for those of you that are still in here, if you want to post your predictions, let me know. I will highlight them as well. So I'm curious what other fans think. Be honest. If you think we're going to lose, you can post that in here. I'll still show it. While waiting for that, here are my potential parlays. I didn't spend as much time as I normally do when it comes to wagers and stuff like that. It's been a very busy week for me work-wise. But that said, the first bet I have is, of course, I'm going to go Jets because we have 2.5. They're giving us 2.5 points at home against a division rival. Of course I'm taking that. And we're the better team. Gotta go Jets here. I'm definitely going with that plus the money line on a parlay. And I think we should be able to do player props today. So I'll probably get a couple in here while I can. And for my player prop, even though I'm kind of jumping out of line, I'm going to go with James Robinson. Even though I know he's new to the team and all that, apparently the Jaguars run a similar scheme to us. He's still got to learn verbiage on the fly, but I feel pretty good about that aspect. And I think he's going to get at least a touchdown and maybe 30 to 40 rushing yards, even though I think Michael Carter will have a bigger game. I'm going to definitely go here, James Robinson, because I think his is going to be more predictable as opposed to Michael Carter. Michael Carter might get the ball 6 or 7 times in the receiving game and only rush the ball for 30 yards. Don't know. So that's where I'm going. I'm going James Robinson plus a touchdown for my player prop. As for the rest here, I'm going to take the Giants plus the points. They get 3 points. Even though they're traveling to the Seahawks and normally the 12th man would scare me a little bit, the Giants have been playing well. Even without wide receivers, maybe the team might even play a little bit better now that Kadarius Toney is out of there. Because I don't think he was I think he was a bit of a malcontent. You could kind of see that from the tweets that he made after he got traded. And just from interviews and things like that. So I think that the Giants might play even more freely. And honestly, their best coach, well, I won't say their best coach is not Dayball. Dayball has been fantastic, but Wink Martindale, man, that's my guy. I am a fan of him as a defensive coordinator. I think he's going to be able to solve Geno Smith. And I think that he's going to be able to get to him a little bit more, considering the Seahawks have a little bit of attrition right now. I heard DK Metcalf isn't going to play. So that means all they got is Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett's been banged up the last 2 weeks. He's been playing while he's hurt, but that's something to look at. So with all that, and I know they're down to, they always lose running backs, even though Kenneth Walker's been good. I just think that Seahawks might be at their right at their peak here, and the Giants can go in there and get a W. So I have them for sure. And lastly, I'm betting on the Jaguars. The Jaguars are playing the Broncos, who we just played last week. I think we got their best punch defensively. I just do. They were a short week coming into our game. Now they're traveling to the UK and playing in London. I don't know, man. I just think that's a lot for them. You got Russell Wilson being silly and doing high knees and stuff like that and on the airplane. You got players that are like, "Yup, that's what he was doing," as if they were kind of peeved about it. That might all be, that might not be as big of an issue as I'm making it out to be. I do think it's just strange behavior personally. And I don't know. If Russell Wilson starts, they lose. If the other kid, Ripien or Rippin, I think it's pronounced Rippin. If he plays, they might be closer to win, but it doesn't matter. To me, the Jaguars are at home. They travel to the UK every damn year. The crowd is going to be pro Jaguars. If you watch, that's why there was the whole speculation for the last couple of years that the Jaguars were going to become a UK team because of the owner that they have over there. So that said, they're going to have the home crowd, the advantage of just knowing how to travel over there, all that good stuff. I'm going Jaguars here. 2.5 points is nothing. I think they can win that damn game. So that's where I'm going with that. And check back into the chat here. No predictions, none. All right. Well, that's pretty much all that I have, guys. I'm definitely going to be doing a little bit more gambling when I get a little more time today. Shout out, of course, to Knicks, Jets, etc. for doing the Tsunami Speaks parlay that Greg came up with. I got to give my guy credit for that again. We can't do it this week. It's a shame because Seattle's playing the Giants. So haven't watched y'all's video yet. I need to. Or I started it but didn't finish it or anything like that. But I will see where you guys kind of land on here. But that's kind of what I've got going forward. It's a Saturday morning. It's early and I got plans today. So I wanted to get this video up and out of here so you guys could see where things are going to go tomorrow. I'm feeling all in all, I'm feeling pretty good about the Jets. I think we're going to be 6-2 come tomorrow. And then we'll see what the team does. Will we get another offensive lineman? That's something that's been kind of bandied about. We've been hearing a lot of stuff. Personally, it does look like when Joe Douglas wants something, we don't get smoke of it or we don't hear about it. So part of me is like, are we not going to get an offensive lineman now? Because everybody already heard that we're interested in Laramie Tunsil and Jack Conklin. So I have concerns there. But either way, I think the trade, if there is going to be a trade, is going to happen on Monday, just like we did with James Robinson. But I'm super encouraged that we have a team that knows that we're trying to make the playoffs right now. Super excited just knowing that. We have a team that wants us to compete. We have a general manager that's trying to compete. Our coach is trying to compete. We're trying to win. And that's just exciting all the way around. Can't say that we've been in a situation like that in a long time. Anyway, so all in all, I'm encouraged to be a Jets fan. I'm proud to see what's going on. Hopefully the Giants win too. Shout out to you. I am Jarrell on Die Hard Giants Live. I'm giving you your credit too. Hopefully y'all get a dub and I make some more money off y'all. With that said, all right, guys. This is the end of Tsunami Speaks. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm going to try to go live on Sunday as well, but if I do, it's going to be late. Just to give myself some time to get ready for it. But all that said, thanks again for watching, guys. Y'all have a great evening. And of course, JETS, 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 Jets. Thanks for watching.